We're pleased that you could join us this evening for the 2023 University of Alaska Southeast Sitka Campus Commencement Ceremony. My name is Paul Kraft. I'm the director of the UAS Sitka Campus, and on behalf of the faculty and staff of our campus, I want to say welcome to everyone that's here. I want to start our festivities tonight by acknowledging that the land that the UAS Sitka campus is on is Tlingit land. We want to say thank you for the wonderful stewardship of the land that has occurred for more than 10,000 years and continues to this day. Our pledge as a university is to partner with our Tlingit neighbors to live, work, and play in this amazing place in a manner that brings honor to this land alongside those that live here now and the generations that will follow. Before we start, I would just ask you to silence your cell phones so that we're respectful of the festivities. Please be aware that there's 2 exits out of this room, and the restrooms are down the hall to the right and then to the left. A few other housekeeping details. Even though we are some months removed from the pandemic and the concerns that we had with that, we want to be respectful for people who are going to be shaking hands. And some of you may feel uncomfortable with that, so we want to give permission to any of the platform party and certainly our graduates. Give you a couple options. You come up and you, once you receive your diploma, if you want to shake hands, reach your hand out and someone will reach back. If you want to do an alternative method, we call it the pec slap. It's something that whales do. They take their pectoral fin and they slap it on the water. I'm told it's to attract members of the, they're trying to be friendly with others. We don't want that here. But we do encourage, if you want to do an elbow bump, put your elbow out. If you want a handshake, put your hand out. All right, you got that? I don't think we need, you guys are college graduates, or soon to be really cool. So lead with your hand or your elbow, and the stage party will respond accordingly. We want to welcome all of the proud parents, grandparents, brothers, sisters, aunts, uncles, cousins, spouses, sons, daughters, and friends of our graduates. Those that are here in person and those that will be viewing this on YouTube, we hope to have this ceremony broadcast on YouTube or made available on YouTube by early next week. And I know many of you have friends, families, members who aren't able to make it to Sitka, but they'll still be able to enjoy your participation here. So welcome all of you and congratulations to the University of Alaska Southeast Sitka Campus Class of 2023. To signal the achievements of their students, American institutions of higher learning conduct formal ceremonies to award the appropriate degrees and credentials earned after a prescribed course of study. The act of taking the certificate, occupational endorsement, or degree, as well as the designation of the day itself, is known as commencement. Historically speaking, the term commencement originally referred to the time when an apprentice would begin his or her apprenticeship. It then later became the name of the day on which master's and doctorate degrees were conferred so that the masters and the doctors could commence their work. Today, commencement marks a time when students who finish their preliminary education set out upon the career for which they have prepared. Graduates, we celebrate your achievements of this commencement in this commencement ceremony and recognize this milestone in your educational and vocational journeys, a milestone worth celebrating. Our graduation numbers are strong with more than 121 UAS Sitka campus degrees, certificates, or occupational endorsement. However, as 70 to 80% of our students attend classes online, many of our graduates are unable to attend tonight and will be receiving their degrees in absentia. Additionally, we're happy to recognize 20 University of Alaska students living in Sitka who are receiving degrees from other University of Alaska campuses. They have been invited to participate in this local ceremony. I would like to introduce our podium guests on the stage tonight, starting with your left, my right. Crystal Duncan is our guest speaker for the evening, and I'll introduce her more a bit later. I put them in different order on my sheet than they're sitting here. Regent Dale Anderson and will also be conferring our degrees, and we'll be hearing more from him later. Maren Havig, Dr. Maren Havig, Provost of UAS, and University of Alaska President Pat Pitney, and at the end is our Chancellor of the University of Alaska Southeast, Karen Carey. So let's welcome them to our ceremony here in Sitka. A few other introductions. Christine Galiza is going to be reading the graduates' names. Christine is an admin assistant at the university. And students were given the option to have their heritage names read aloud, and Robbie Littlefield, our instructor of Alaska Native Languages, will present those names. Also like to recognize Dr. Jeff Loftus from the UAS School of Education at the Juneau campus, who's seated with the Sitka faculty. Thank you for traveling to Sitka to help us recognize your Sitka-based graduates. Next, I would ask you to acknowledge our faculty and staff who provide teaching excellence and administrative support that's critical to our student success. They are the heart of our institution. They're dedicated to serving our students both live and in person and in virtual environments, including online learning platforms through email, Zoom, phone, text. Any way that our students can communicate with our faculty, they do it. So I would ask all the faculty and staff that are here, to stand and be recognized. Our commencement program will begin with President Pitney sharing a few words with our graduates and guests. President Pitney has served the University of Alaska in a role of president for the past 2 years, and we welcome her to the podium at this time.
Well, thank you so much. It's really an honor to be here in Sitka to help celebrate you, the class of 2023, our University of Alaska Southeast Sitka campus graduates. It's a true honor. You know, I've gone to many graduation ceremonies, but mostly they were the large ceremonies. And what I've found this year, I've been going to the smaller campuses. I was in Bethel, and pretty soon I go to Ketchikan and Kodiak. The impact in these small communities is so powerful. So thank you for taking the chance on your education and your tenacity to finish at least this step. And I'm noticing many of you, I'm assuming it's only the first step in your education. Regardless of where the future takes you, you're going to be well prepared. You'll have a positive impact on your community, on your family, and on our state. Alaska is better off today because your dedication, tenacity, and commitment. And some of you will pursue adventures outside of Alaska, but you will take with you the values you've learned here. I'm excited for each of you because this is an incredible milestone. And you've worked hard for it, you've earned it. But I'm more excited for the future, your future and Alaska's future. The skills you've gained and the lessons you've learned will empower Alaska to build a bright, sustainable future for generations to come. To the faculty and staff, I see a lot of staff standing around, but to the faculty here, thank you for the work that you've done to help these graduates reach this milestone, and for your encouragement for setting them on to their next step. It's support like yours that truly helps make the moments like this a reality. Graduates, I want to leave you with 2 challenges. Just 2. They're easy. 1, think of a person that's made a difference in you sitting in those seats, in them encouraging you to follow this pursuit. Look them up, text them. If you see them in the crowd, give them a hug. Thank them for their encouragement and their influence. Maybe it's a faculty member, maybe it's a staff member. The second challenge, find one person, a person that you know or that you don't yet know, and tell them about your experience, your education, why you chose to do what you're doing today, and bring them along. Oftentimes, people don't realize it's possible until somebody taps them on the shoulder and says, look, I've been there, I've done it, you can do it, and when you do it, look at the paths that are open to you. So please find one person. That's all I'm saying, it's just one person. And I want to end with just a final thank you. Chancellor Karen Carey had taken the role of interim chancellor when I took the role of interim president. And I asked her if she would stay. And she said, I'll only stay as long as you will. Well, she decided to retire, and I'm still here. What is that? But I wanted to thank Karen for her leadership. She's retiring at the end of June, and she has done a remarkable job bringing stability and pride to the University of Alaska Southeast at Juneau, Sitka, and Ketchikan. So I want to thank you. And again, so happy to be here to celebrate. Can't wait to see what the future holds. And when you're walking on the streets somewhere, in Anchorage, in Ketchikan, in Juneau, here in Sitka, and you see me or you see Paul or any of these faculty, a year from now, 2 years from now, say hello. Let us know what you're doing. We want to know who you are and where you end in your future and who you bring with you. So congratulations and celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you, President Pitney. Each year, a student is invited to share their reflections on the academic year just ending. Tonight, we will hear from Brianna Forbis. Brianna is a graduate of the Associate of Applied Science Health Information Management program and was selected as a student of distinction for that program. Brianna lives in North Pole. She has traveled to Sitka to present the student reflection tonight. Please join me in welcoming Brianna Forbis.
Hello, my name is Brianna Forbis, and it is an honor to be the student reflection speaker for class of 2023 UAS Sitka campus. There's probably nothing I can stand up here and tell you that my fellow peers haven't heard from family members, faculty, anyone that's truly impacted your lives. But I hope something I say leaves a small notable impression. I'd like to reflect back with the family and friends of those graduating. For some of us, you were the ones who picked up the phone during our late night study sessions when all was doom and gloom, and you soothed the never-ending nerves that came with finals, and you were the ones who instilled the confidence in us to push forward. Thank you for sticking by your students' side during this period in their lives. I want to now address my peers and say congratulations. This is a big deal, and I hope you don't take it lightly. Don't brush off your accomplishments and diminish them. The sacrifices you made molded you as a brand new individual, and now you get to go share that with the world. Celebrate your accomplishments so that you can build confidence within yourself to stay motivated to further your future successes, because this is just the beginning for us. I'd also like to take a moment to share with you a small portion of my story and hope my reflection is something that you all can relate to. I started my college journey 10 years ago and continuously found myself drowning. The degrees I pursued never felt right, and I gave up. I was determined that college was not for me, and I firmly locked my dreams of becoming a nurse, a teacher, a writer behind the door, tossed the key away, thought I'd never return. As I became a mother and on the cusp of a global pandemic, I found myself sitting outside that door again with my hands in my head and uncertainty flooding through my chest. I hadn't been part of college community for over 4 years and felt the task of prying the door open daunting and exhausting. By what I can only describe as a miracle, UAS showed up and gave me a brand new key. No prying, no kicking or pounding was necessary as I unlocked that door and stepped through the threshold. Ever since I opened that door, I found myself at home with UAS, and specifically the Health Information Management program. The classes were rigorous, and late-night study sessions while my family slumbered turned to early morning study sessions. I'm sure my professors often wondered why that Brianna Forbis was sending emails at 3 a.m., but I would do it all over in a heartbeat. I had finally found my true calling, and I loved every single moment of it. My professors went above and beyond to ensure I was prepared for working in the ever-changing healthcare field. I appreciate all the faculty and staff that I encountered along the way, and know that you are doing an amazing job at being there for each student. Class of 2023, congratulations, and I hope you celebrate your hearts out tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Brianna. In the program, turn toward the back, there's a bit more of about Brianna and her story. And then also our next speaker, there's more information there. I'll keep my introductions brief so you can read more about it. Brianna, I will say you made one of your faculty members cry. So good for you. It is now my honor to introduce our commencement speaker, our next commencement speaker, Assembly member of the City and Borough of Sitka and a University of Alaska graduate, Crystal Duncan. Crystal attended the University of Alaska in Fairbanks, where she completed both a Bachelor of Science degree in Psychology and a Master of Business Administration in General Management in 2019. She was employed at the University of Alaska UAS Sitka campus in a student support staff position. She left before I was able to arrive. Before I arrived, so I wasn't able to work with her. But you can please help me welcome Crystal to the podium so we can hear her remarks. Crystal?
Great. Can you hear me okay in the back? Am I coming? Okay, perfect. So I was told that I have 5 to 8 minutes to speak today, and honestly, if this is anything like my graduations, I know that all of you came to take selfies in your cap and gown, flip that tassel, and not remember a single word from your commencement speaker. So, in a sentiment that's borrowed from former Seahawks running back Marshawn Lynch, I'm just here to eat cupcakes. And the sooner that I wrap this up, the sooner all that other stuff can happen. So let's go. Graduates, if each year we get to blow out a candle to open presents and receive Facebook well wishes for putting one more ring around our tree trunk, Today, we are definitely going to dig deep for a celebration that's fitting of this diploma, because there is a difference, the difference being you had to put a tremendous amount of time and effort to pull this off. For some of us, we probably barely pulled it off, right? My first degree, oof, barely. I'm still not sure how I did it, but the adage, C's get degrees, is really real. And if that's you tonight, I want you to know, no joke, I'm super proud of you. Your finals were the finish line. I hope you have been able to since take a breath. For some here today, your program tracked, it probably felt like a 50-meter dash. For others, it was a grueling 10,000-meter race, more Billy Mills come from behind kind of race. And for some of you, this is just the first mile in a long, long marathon in pursuit of education. There are several ways to describe what you all have done. Earlier this week, one of my coworkers completed her certificate program at the Bethel campus. She said one of her fellow graduates described himself as a thief, meaning he steals knowledge from others. I heard that and I thought, who helped our trickster Raven, the legend himself, complete the admission paperwork up on the YK Delta? I wouldn't put it past him, though. His thievery, it knows no bounds. But stay here with me. In that same conversation, she reminded me of our cultural understanding with regards to this gift of knowledge. The things we learn are not ours to keep. We learn it and teach it to others out of love. We learn it and use it as a tool to build up the community. You made the investment. We are the beneficiaries. If you are the cause, we are the effect, and I mean that in the most positive sense. So today I want to congratulate you, sure, but more so I want to thank you. Whether your journey was complicated or a straightaway, we know if educational accomplishments were easy, everyone would pursue them. But not everyone has, and not everyone will. Tonight we have a limited number of seats in this room that are filled with you, the completers. Gratitude has to also extend beyond you and your dedication. So let me take a moment to, in the words of our Haida neighbors, say hawa to your network of supporters. This may look like children who compliantly went to bed early so you could stay up studying. Or maybe it's your spouse or parents who helped you fit the bill for this expensive investment. Perhaps it's a supervisor who signed off on allowing you to take classes during your normal work hours so you could check off those degree requirements. Whoever you welcomed into that network, I hope they are here to stand beside you tonight and receive our thanks. As for this University of Alaska Southeast institution that sits on Tlingit and Sitka, in the words of those who came before us, I say gunachish, for recognizing and putting forth efforts to make education equitable to all, including those who have a historically complicated relationship with the Western education model. Your work isn't done until the graduates of this institution match the community at large. Until that time, we place that responsibility on you to continue to address barriers of access that are persistent in the organization. We thank you in advance for those efforts. We know it's not easy. I scanned the degrees that were listed in the program. What an incredible list. Of course, those standard degrees that we normally think of when we visualize a higher education. I'm talking about those master, bachelor, and associate programs. Let me give you my high-pitched, heartfelt woohoo. My voice doesn't get any higher, but I hope you can hear the enthusiasm behind it. We add on to that our health-focused degrees in coding or as a nurse's aide, so needed. Let's sprinkle in a mix of welding, and I'll tell you what, I will buy a bouquet of those beautifully welded roses, an Allen Borbridge specialty, even though I'm not sure I can afford them. But clearly the talent is here in the room and ready to fill high-demand jobs in this industry. And let's not forget about those programs that focused on one of our most critical resources, fish. Whatever your focus area, and I know I didn't cover the entire gamut, continued education will not turn its back on you. And again, no matter where you reside, on behalf of your community, I wanted to let you know that we appreciate how this act is lifting all of us up. So let's keep it moving. Today is a celebration for you and each one of you, because you are awesome with a capital A. I'm excited to be a participant and audience member at this graduation ceremony. I'll end with this. Kuyana, Hawa, Toyach Nusam, Mas Cho, Taiku, Enabasi, Salama, Gracias, Gunakchish, and all the many more words or phrases that express gratitude for sticking with it. My thanks and well wishes. Congratulations to the UAS class of 2023.
Thank you, Crystal. This year and every year, many of our graduates are celebrating their success in such places as Anchorage, Fairbanks, Unalaska, Norvik, and so many other Alaskan communities, big and small, that are served by the university through distance education. Though they may not be able to travel to Sitka to join us for the commencement ceremony, we would still like to take time to honor their accomplishments. Our online programs and semester-intensive programs, such as Americulture and Scientific Diving Semester, also make it possible for us to honor graduates from locations much further away, such as Duxbury, Massachusetts, New Egypt, New Jersey, Fenwick Island, Delaware, Marysville, Ohio, Apollo Beach, Florida, and even the country of India. We will read aloud the names of those present tonight and then include the names of all of our graduates in the YouTube video that will be created from the recordings of this event. Graduates, we are now at the point in our program where we can begin to celebrate your accomplishments and confer those credentials and degrees that you have worked so hard to obtain. We will begin tonight's acknowledgement of academic achievements by first recognizing those students who have completed their occupational endorsements. Several individuals have started or enhanced their post-secondary education by earning an occupational endorsement. Students who have completed an OE have obtained industry-specific knowledge and skill sets gained in a relatively short time. We would like to recognize each of these students for their accomplishments. This year, UAS Sitka is awarding 91 occupational endorsements, and we are fortunate that a number of these students could join us tonight. Will the students who have obtained an occupational endorsement please stand and approach the stage to be recognized as their names are read. Thank you and congratulations to these students. We'd also like to take a moment to recognize those graduates of the Fall 22 and Spring 23 classes of the Alaska State Trooper Academy who completed an occupational endorsement in law enforcement. Their achievements are celebrated in a separate ceremony hosted by the Department of Public Safety. I'm now asking Chancellor Carey to come to the podium for the conferring of the UAS Undergraduate's degree.
Thank you, Paul. The UAS Sitka campus delivers its educational programs not only with local and regional leadership, but also under the ultimate authority of the University of Alaska Board of Regents. Regent Dale Anderson has traveled here tonight to assist in officiating the commencement ceremony and the conferral of degrees. For honoring the accomplishments of our students and for the conferring of undergraduates and certificates, I would like to ask Dale Anderson to join me at the podium.
Will the candidates for the University of Alaska undergraduate degrees please stand? It is my pleasure to present these candidates for the University of Alaska degrees and certificates. The registrar has certified that they have fulfilled all the academic requirements, and the faculty of the University of Alaska Southeast recommends that these candidates receive their awards. Tonight's ceremony honors the achievements of 42 students earning undergraduate degrees and certificates. Many of these students have attended the University of Alaska Southeast via e-learning from towns and villages across Alaska. Others are residents who study here in Sitka or by distance from other University of Alaska campuses. Although those may not be present and have been unable to travel to Sitka to participate in our celebration, we respectfully confer their degrees in absentia. Please note that cum laude means that the graduate earned a 3.5 graduate or grade point, average or higher. Magna cum laude indicates a GPA of 3.8 or higher. Summa cum laude means that the student is graduating with a 4.0 GPA.
Will Jeffrey Loftus join me on stage, please? So we got a little out of order, but that's okay. Because the decision to continue one's education beyond the baccalaureate level signifies a commitment to becoming highly prepared and specialized in one's field of study. Graduate degrees and post-baccalaureate certifications and licensures serve to identify scholars pursuing an in-depth understanding and mastery of their chosen profession. To recognize the accomplishments of our students and for the conferring of degrees, I ask that Regent Anderson join me at the podium once again.
It is my pleasure to present these candidates with the University of Alaska degrees and certificates. The registrar has certified that they have fulfilled all the academic requirements, and the faculty of the University of Alaska Southeast recommends that these candidates receive their awards. Derived from medieval origins, academic regalia has been worn by scholars since the 11th century, when the rise of universities began in Europe. Learned clerks robed themselves in gowns, caps, and hoods, thus marking a difference between town and gown. The hooding of graduate students represents their entry into academia as master scholars. Our Provost and Dean of Graduate Studies, Dr. Maren Havig, and the School of Education faculty and Dr. Jeff Loftus assisted in the ceremony gesture as a candidate for a graduate degree is presented.
So Regent Anderson, would you please affirm the degrees awarded?
I will. Tonight, we celebrate your achievement in the presence of your family and friends. On the recommendation of the Chancellor Carey and with the concurrence of President Pitney and by the authority vested in me by the Constitution of the State of Alaska as a member of the University of the Board of Regents, I hereby confer upon you the degrees that you have earned with all the rights, privileges, and honors you so richly deserve. And now, to make it official, graduates, would you please stand? Graduates, would you please stand? That's better. One thing you have to learn is to follow instructions. And now, to make it official, graduates, would you please stand, and now would you please remove your tassel from the right side to the left side of your cap, signifying your journey from student to graduate is complete. Would everyone join me in congratulating them? And graduates, at this time you may be seated. Hey, good job.
All right, we're going to move to the final part of our ceremony, and that's a presentation of awards. With assistance from our faculty and the podium party, let's begin the Academic Achievement Awards presentation. I'll start by asking Teresa, Assistant Professor of Health Information Management, Teresa Bell, to take the stage to assist me in presenting the HIM Management Graduate of Distinction Award.
I have the privilege to recognize a student of the Health Information Management Program of the 2023 Graduate of Distinction. This graduating student is selected collectively by the program faculty for demonstrating active engagement, active academic achievement, and a strong professional aptitude during his or her studies. This year, the HIM Graduate of Distinction is Brianna Forbis from the North Pole. Brianna, could you please come to the stage? Brianna enrolled in the HIM program in 2020 with no background experience in healthcare. Brianna demonstrated active engagement in course activities and was always an engaged learner. She demonstrated her willingness to learn by actively participating in class, 3 a.m. in the morning, ensuring and understanding the material. Brianna did such a great job during her 75-hour internship, they are considering hiring her in a position when it becomes available. Brianna applied to take the Registered Health Information Management RHIT exam as an early tester and passed in March of 2023. Early testing means she took the exam prior to graduating and completing the HIM program. She is now studying and planning to take the Certified Coding Specialist exam, and you will pass it. During her time at UAS, Brianna continuously made the Chancellor's List and the Dean's List. She was in constant communication with her professors and also offered group study sessions to her classmates. Brianna has since demonstrated her interest in the HIM field by volunteering her time for the Alaska Health Information Management Association as the board secretary. This semester, she volunteered to speak to students about the rewards of volunteering for the state association. Due to her efforts, we had more students interested in volunteering than in the last several years. Brianna applied for and received a scholarship from the Alaska Health Information Management Association for $500. This scholarship will help pay for the cost of the Registered Health Information Management exam. Students who earn an AKIMA scholarship must display academic excellence, provide 2 letters of recommendation for professionals in the field, and demonstrate leadership potential in the HIM profession. I highly see Brianna as an advocate for the HIM field and a great example of the association and the American Health Information Management Association, and a lifelong learner. Congratulations, Brianna, in receiving the HIM Student of Distinction Award and all you have accomplished. And this is a certificate. Now I want to invite Associate Professor Joel Marcus and Angie Bowers to the stage to present the Fisheries Technology Graduate of Distinction Award.
Good evening. My name is Joel Marcus, and I'm the Program Director of the Applied Fisheries Program, and tonight I'm joined by Angie Bowers and Lauren Wild, faculty from the Applied Fisheries program. Each year, we review a list of graduates and select a student of distinction based on their academic achievement, as well as their performance in lab and practical classes and contribution to the fisheries industry as a whole. This year's student of distinction is Susie O'Neill. Susie is not able to join us, and we have asked Sarah Ebersole, a graduate of the program and an employee of the Applied Fisheries program, to accept this honor in her stead. Sarah, could you please join us at the stage? Thank you. So Susie O'Neill came to us and had demonstrated a great deal of academic achievement and applied herself in her lab and practical classes. But in addition to that, she also, through the course of her internship, really pushed the mariculture industry forward. She developed the first only invasive species map that is available to the mariculture industry that allows both seaweed and oyster farmers to visualize where invasive species have been identified in the past, and so they can make smart decisions as far as where they're going to place their farms or where they might try and expand their programs. In addition to some of this work, she presented these findings at the recent American Fisheries Society Alaska chapter annual meeting, where she received Best Student Presentation. And so we are very fortunate to be able to award Susie this honor tonight. And so I believe Lauren has a plaque that Susie will be receiving in the mail. And it has become tradition here in the Applied Fisheries program. Each year we try and find something that will allow our student of distinction to stand out amongst the school, something that is a little bit flashy that allows them to just stand out a little bit more. And so Angie has developed this particular piece of regalia here that we will bestow upon Sarah. As you can notice, maybe it's abalone shells and oyster shells, something very fitting for the mariculture industry. We're excited to see Susie's contribution to the fisheries industry as a whole and welcome her back to Alaska when she returns to begin working here shortly. Thank you.
A celebration like this cannot happen without the hard work and contributions of many people. Again, thanks to the stage party for traveling here to make this evening a special occasion. Special thank you to Crystal Duncan and Brianna Forbis for bringing their words of encouragement and remarks to the graduates. Thank you, Regent Anderson, for your attendance on behalf of the Board of Regents. Unseen to most of us were the long hours of hard work of the Commencement Planning Committee. Our first meeting, their first meeting, happened in November. You see the results of their hard work. Tricia Bell, who you have met, is the chair of the committee. John Ingman, Randy Nutting, Margene Ragsdale, Kristen Scotchmer, Christine Galiza, and Greg George all played a key role in making tonight a success. Outstanding job, thank you. A final thanks to our graduates and their families. You've earned this special ceremony with your many long hours of sacrifice, dedication, and hard work, and I'm talking about the family, not the graduate. Family members. Actually, I'm talking to both of you. We are proud of what you have achieved and wish you all the best in the next step of your journey. I want to thank the student government for the contributions that they made to this event. There were some cookies that have been handed out that were made available to all of our graduates, and those are works of art. Yeah. I know you're going to have a dilemma. Do I eat it or do I frame it? But thank you again for making that possible. Also want to let you know, as part of what student government has done, is that there's a wildlife watching trip tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock right outside here. There's still space available. So graduates and their family and guests, if you, whether you've been on a whale watching, wildlife watching trip or in the past or not, we really want you to come with us. So if you haven't signed up yet, do. If you have some questions about how to do that, where is Aklay? Aklay is our point person for that. So please join us. There are spots available, and we don't want to leave anybody ashore that would enjoy this trip. Want to invite everyone for the reception that follows our commencement activity. It's just right across the hallway. There's some cupcakes and some crackers, just a few snacks that you can eat on while we're also visiting with each other. A professional photographer will be there to take your pictures, and so you can have that for your memory as well. I'd like to ask the audience to remain in place as the stage party, followed by the faculty and then the graduates file out. Congratulations and have a wonderful evening.
Damolo, yagi hello, damolo, yagi hello, bagahun ha, aguli kunsu, alaluni, damaxoluni, hey hey hey, damaxoluni, hey hey hey, damolo, yagi hello, damolo, yagi hello, bagahun ha, aguli. The Maxolini, hey, 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 the Maxolini, hey, hey, hey. Bakumi, Ilagaka, Yarihan, Ranil, Sangering now, Bagan, I like to me, the Maxolini, hey, 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 the Maxolini, hey, hey, hey. The Maxolini, hey, 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 the Maxolini, hey, hey, hey.